euphoric man-made chaos. Risking decide to separate us. The proof lies within the ever-growing hate. Push to shove and kill to be killed. Manifest your hate. In my dreams, life is just a memory. In my fears, you become the enemy. In my shadows, your screams are whispers.
my goodness. God damn, is that a cold beverage, bro? Monday at Night Raw, man. The OTC won. He's back for a second week in a row, man. Shocking, I know, that Roman Reigns made 2 consecutive appearances on Monday Night Raw. He's got a little something to say to Paul Heyman. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins is really living up this psyop that he's got going on. Thinks he's slick, posting a video with his daughter limping down the street on crutches. I see you, bro. I see what you're doing, man. You ain't fooling me. Monday Night Raw, man, with 11 days to go. I thought WWE did a great job tonight, forwarding some stories. The SummerSlam card is being put together quite nicely, with only 3 weeks to go. Looking like a great show in New Jersey. And we're going to talk about all that happened tonight at the Beer Garden. And when I get there, it's a beautiful day in New York, by the way. When I get there on this beautiful evening, I want to know on this Monday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for July 21, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. We are just about 2 weeks to go before SummerSlam. What are we, a week and a half? 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks before SummerSlam. We got one more Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam. Shaping up to be a very good card, man. I did not I did not think WWE was going to put together a card that was worthy of 2 nights. I had very much struggled with the idea of a 2-night SummerSlam just based off the pay-per-view or PLE calendar. Coming out of WrestleMania, they have been nonstop every 3 weeks. It's like Vince is back, because this is the way it used to be. Every 3 weeks, there's a PLE. There's a Saturday night's main event thrown in there somewhere. Don't like it. I actually don't like it. I feel like a lot of the stories don't have time to breathe. A lot of the stories don't have time to materialize. And when they don't have time to materialize, a lot of it feels rushed, and a lot of it doesn't really feel substantial enough for you, the viewer, me, to emotionally invest, and it just happens. There's no real story there. It's tough to tell a true story in just 3 weeks. WWE tonight took Monday Night Raw, which normally on Netflix goes anywhere between 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes, maybe. Tonight was the longest Monday Night Raw. They even went longer tonight than they did on January 6th for the debut. They went 2 hours and 45 minutes tonight. From my notes, the longest Monday Night Raw of the Netflix era. And a very much needed Monday Night Raw in the way that they delivered everything that they had to deliver on the way to SummerSlam. We got several stories progressed tonight. We got a couple of more matches announced for SummerSlam. WWE really loaded this show up. I even said on social media a couple of hours before the show around dinner time, I'm like, man, WWE really loaded this show up. It is a full top to bottom show. And they even added a banger match live on air that wasn't even advertised on the homepage if you go to WWE.com. We had Rusev and Sheamus. We had the women's tag team titles on the line. We had Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. We had a number 1 contenders triple threat men's tag team match. Number 1 contendership for the Judgment Day's tag team champions. We got the LWO. We got the Creeds. We got the New Day. We got Roman Reigns on the show. We got CM Punk on the show. We got Gunther on the show. Face-to-face with Gunther and Punk. A little disappointed with that. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. First time that they've met face-to-face since that spear on the Raw after Mania with Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns. The first time in almost 4.5 months, we got some sort of words back and forth between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. WWE added Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky in the quote-unquote main event of the show tonight to build what's happening going into SummerSlam and potentially tease what could be at Clash in Paris. I thought from top to bottom, structurally, everything that they needed to do, I thought WWE hit a home run tonight. I thought it was a very good show. The only down point of the show, if I had to choose a down point, was Houston. WWE was sold out in Houston tonight. Houston loves their WWE. I think the last time they came to Houston, too, was also a sellout. But man, oh man, the crowd, this was a very, very picky crowd. They chose what they wanted to cheer for, and the other stuff, if they didn't care about it, they did not react at all. Gunther was out there. They're throwing what chants at Gunther? Roman Reigns is out there. They're fucking chanting OTC, OTC. They're trying to get the European chants started in Houston. They were calling Paul Heyman an asshole. They loved Io and Stephanie Vaquer. They loved Rhea Ripley, who came out to help Stephanie and Io. Everything else that was thrown in there, if they didn't like it or they didn't care about it, Houston was dead quiet, bro. It's almost as if they reacted to everything but some of the in-ring action. They reacted to the entrances. They reacted to the music. They reacted to the promos. Everything but the pro wrestling. I don't know what happened to Houston tonight. I thought Houston was a great crowd. I thought the Texas scene really is a great state that WWE periodically visits. I thought they were good crowds, but tonight it was not all that energetic. It was quite quiet through at least more than half of the show, up until maybe that women's main event and then Roman Reigns coming out at the end. It was the most consistent they've been loud all night. There's a lot to talk about. Roman Reigns is back. Obviously, we know where that's going. There really isn't much to dissect. Roman Reigns gave his feelings on Paul Heyman saying that Roman ruined the bloodline. Roman claims that he didn't ruin the bloodline. I don't really see it that way, because Roman's greed and selfishness ruined the bloodline. Paul Heyman only did what he had to do because he owed CM Punk a favor. I don't think Paul Heyman ruined the bloodline. Roman had ruined the bloodline well before Paul Heyman made his decision to join CM Punk. Roman's greed and selfishness and his ego ruined the bloodline. But they met face-to-face for the first time since WrestleMania. And like I said, there really isn't much to dissect. We all know that Roman's going to be at SummerSlam. He's been on TV now 2 consecutive weeks. A lot of people want to see Roman and Braun. I still think that's on the table at some point. I do think that's going to be a major match when it does happen. But right now, WWE is looking to get as much out of the orange, as much juice out of the orange as they can with this Seth Rollins group before Rollins, I believe, comes back at SummerSlam and cashes in that Money in the Bank contract on CM Punk and wins the World's Heavyweight Championship. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. I made a whole video on it. I do think that it's a work. I do think that's one big psyop. We'll go over it again, and I'm sure me and Jason will talk about it tomorrow on TNT. It's going to be Roman and Jey Uso against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. We can't leave Bronson Reed off the show. We can't leave Braun Breaker off the show. They are going to work as a unit in the absence of Seth Rollins, and Roman and Jey Uso will have their SummerSlam match via that tag team match. I thought tonight's Monday Night Raw was excellent, except for the crowd. The substance was there. The crowd, not so much. So we'll definitely go over all that. Becky and Lyra, they had a nice little segment tonight where they added a little bit more oomph, a little bit more stipulation added to their match at SummerSlam. Now it is a no count out, no disqualification match between Lyra and Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. And Karrion Kross was on the show. Another wrestling match for Karrion Kross. Didn't really do much for me tonight against Sami Zayn. We'll definitely go over that as well. Thank you guys for joining me here on the Monday Night Raw post show. It is your Monday, July 21, 2025. I did watch Slamversary, if anybody was asking in the chat earlier. I did watch Slamversary. I actually ordered the show. I was at UBS Arena to have a couple of drinks with a few buddies. I did not go to the show. But I did come home and I ordered the show on pay-per-view. Was it worth my $40? It would have been well worth my $40 if Mike Santana won the TNA World Championship. I'm sure Jason and I will discuss on TNT tomorrow, episode 104. It'll be the first time that we actually deep dive into a TNA show. So that should be something. So if you guys were looking for a review, I contemplated doing a review, but it was my Sunday night and I didn't want to. So we'll talk about it tomorrow on TNT. Had a decent time with the show. Leon Slater and Moose was my match of the night, if anybody's wondering. That was my match of the night. Tag team ladder match was also fun. But man, what a dumb decision to not give Mike Santana the World Championship. And obviously you got a mixture of elitists who, oh, you don't watch TNA. Sure. Yes, coming from the guy that's called most of Mike Santana's House of Glory run. Give me a fucking break. Like, I don't know how good Mike Santana is. You fucking geeks. You got a mixture of people who think they're intelligent. Oh, just be patient, JD. Yes, be patient for what exactly? I'd love for you to fucking tell me what I'm being patient for. What am I being patient for? You got 8,000 fucking people in the UBS arena for their hometown guy to win the world championship. And then I got geeks telling me, he'll do it at Bound for Glory, JD. Yes, Bound for Glory in Lowell, Massachusetts. Yes, that's such a great idea for Mike Santana to win the world fucking championship in Lowell, Massachusetts. I don't want to know anything about Lowell, Massachusetts. It sounds like a fucking dump. Now you want me to fucking sit there and say, yeah, man, you're right. Lowell, Massachusetts is the better idea, man. What are you, fucking mental? Give me a break. Absolutely ridiculous. These are the people in my mentions. These are the people in my mentions. Fuck off. Be patient. Largest crowd maybe ever, right? For them? What'd they say? It's the largest crowd ever? Yeah, let's bypass that for Lowell, Massachusetts. It's better off fucking leaving TNA and going to WWE. Never mind the fucking world title. Will I be that animated with Solomon tomorrow? I don't know. He covered the show. I don't know what the fuck he thought. Probably thought the same thing I did. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. I want to shout out a couple of gentlemen. The 3 gentlemen that I had drinks with yesterday. Pleasure was all mine. Thank you for making the afternoon a good one. You know who you are. Shout out to my boy Indigo. I know Indigo's in the chat somewhere. I don't know if he's here or not. I don't know if he's in the beer garden having a fucking whiskey. Get Indigo a whiskey. Shout out to my boy Indigo. His uncle recently passed. And I want to send my thoughts, my love, and my prayers to my boy Indigo, who's been a VIP right here on this channel for many, 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 many years. So shout out to him. Let me get some prayer emojis in the chat from my guy Indigo. It's gonna be all right, brother. It's gonna be all right. We're here for you. You guys know what I say, man. They never leave you. They never leave you. I still feel the presence of those that have left me that have been close to my heart daily. He's not going anywhere, Indigo. Whatever he's taught you, whatever he has instilled in you, you will carry on his legacy and his memory for as long as you're here, brother. It's going to be all right. Trust me. Social media, at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the content on the channel. The last video we did was this weekend. We did a nice retrospective on the Seth Rollins situation. I think it's a work. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I could be wrong. It's my opinion. So we'll see what happens with that. Go check that out. Great video. All the other streams on the channel, go check them out. Do me a solid. If you guys are listening, everybody here should just go do what I'm about to tell you. Go to the iTunes, go to the Spotify, leave a rating, leave a comment. I know I don't push the iTunes and the Spotify thing a lot. We usually trend in the top 30 somewhere. WWE's flooding the podcast scene on iTunes. Go leave a rating, go leave a comment. Every little bit helps out. 5-star rating would be great. Because I know the iTunes charts, they go by ratings and comments and all that stuff. So if you guys are over there, or if you guys aren't over there and you want to go over there and help the show out, get the word of mouth out there about the show, go and do that for me, please. I would really appreciate it. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show as always. Thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes. Might be a little bit of a steep goal tonight, but it is what it is. And tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Go and use that code JD for your free sample right here, courtesy of the podcast. Monday Night Raw started off with the one and only CM Punk. No better way to start the show than with CM Punk, bro. CM Punk walks out. They love Punk in Houston. He's in the ring, starts to show off, and tells Houston that he had 2 goals when he returned. Main event WrestleMania, which he did. Wasn't for the world title, but he main evented WrestleMania. And become a world champion. He was still working on the ladder because he kept getting sidetracked by people who took things a little too personally. McIntyre and Rollins. Now he's back on track. For now. I think that's a little bit of a small Easter egg. I do think that Rollins will emerge when Punk is about to win the world title and take that away from him as well at SummerSlam. Punk looked forward to facing Gunther, whom he called one of the best wrestlers in the world. He couldn't promise a win, but with the help of the fans, he could promise that he would give everything that he had in New Jersey. Gunther, Punk said, was the Intercontinental Champion for 666 days. Every time I think about that number and that reign, I just think evil. I don't know why. It's quite the number that they landed on, huh? It's quite the symbolic number that they landed on there. I wonder if that was done by design. What are you trying to tell me, Triple H? 666 days and was now on his second run with the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk only had 2 weeks to train for this beast. No, Brock Lesnar's not coming back. Punk remembered he's been training for this his whole life. Punk wasn't just any challenger. He was the best in the world. Gunther interrupted. He walks out. Punk got in his face. Gunther stepped back. Houston wanted to basically make this their segment. They chanted, "You tapped out." They chanted something else at Gunther. Couldn't really hear. "You suck. You tapped out." So people in Houston are chanting, "You tapped out," and they chanted for CM Punk. Gunther waited a little bit before addressing Punk because he didn't want to overspeak these fucking people in Houston. Gunther said he did not want to create any drama by coming out here. He says they were both there for the same reasons. Not to make friends, but to make money and win championships. They each consider themselves the best in the world. They both had massive egos. But Gunther's ego, he says, was justified. Unlike Punk's ego, which is not. Punk's ego was based on what the fans thought. Gunther's ego was based on his accolades. The best was the one who held the world title, which is something that I usually say, and some people don't really agree with that. It's a very subjective thing. Then you get people in the comment section, "How could you say that, JD? Jey Uso held the title for 60 days, JD. Sure. When you're selling the merch that Jey Uso was selling, WWE will look at you as the best. There are different criteria. Gunther's not selling Jey Uso merchandise numbers, but Gunther is the best in ring that they have. So yes, there are several criteria. There is a rarity in this business where you do all of that. Merchandise sales, crowd reaction, in-ring, that you're the best number one merch seller, that you're the number one guy in the fans' eyes, that you're the best wrestler in the fucking world. How many people can actually stake claim to those accolades? Not many. Not many. You don't have to. You don't have to. To be called world champion, you got to be the best. If you got a mixture of those things, you're the best. Gunther is the best. Right now, he's the best. They each consider themselves the best in the world. They both have massive egos. Gunther was only focused on what happened in the ring, and when that bell rang at SummerSlam, he would make Punk regret that he ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring with him. Gunther said he would drop him like a wet towel. And Punk would realize he was right Punk would never be a champion and would never be the best in the world. The only thing Punk would have was the degenerate fans chanting his name for the rest of his life. That was it. That was it. I've stated on this show, on this platform many times, I stated on social media many times that Gunther is, in some circles, underrated by some of the IWC. I don't know why. Clearly, they don't have any taste. Most of the people in the community don't have good taste. It's not a surprise. Gunther's promo ability is severely underrated. He is excellent at what he does. He is the quintessential heel at what he does. If you don't like Gunther's work, then you don't love professional wrestling. If you don't like Gunther's work, you don't really know professional wrestling. I don't know what the fuck you like. Or I don't know what you think pro wrestling is. To me, Gunther is pro wrestling 101. He's great. He don't need to go out there and cut a fucking MJF-like promo. Gunther's got his own style. He's got his own brand of charisma. He's got his own personality. Gunther just sounds like the fucking quintessential villain in any movie he's playing, any match that he's a part of. I love it. CM Punk, he didn't really say much of anything. He didn't really get into that pipe bomb CM Punk mode. Gunther was very straightforward as well, and then before you knew it, this segment was over. Not that it was bad or anything. I just felt as a viewer watching this with 11, 12 days to go, whatever it is, I was a little disappointed by this. I wanted more. They had 3 hours to fill. They could have given these guys an extra 5 minutes, an extra 6 minutes. Now, I know I said on social media, and this is the fucking brain capacity of everybody. Everybody knows everything. Everybody thinks I'm such a smart guy, and, JD thinks he knows everything. He don't fucking know anything. I got so many people when I posted how disappointed I was because I wanted to see more. I felt like they abruptly ended this. I expected Punk to get some sort of rebuttal. So many comments in my thread. Well, that'll be for next week, JD. They'll do that next week. I don't know. How the fuck do you know? You formatting the show? You booking the fucking show? You got a crystal ball sitting in front of you while you tweet away your displeasure at me? Do you know what's going to happen next week before anybody else knows it? How the fuck do you know? They may have a backstage segment. They may have a segment like they did tonight and extend what they did tonight. They may not be on the show at all. Why are you waiting till next week when they gave you a very abbreviated version of what they should have did this week? I don't get it. This should have been more. But this is the product of WWE having 3 weeks of build for a 2-night SummerSlam, which is basically their WrestleMania of the summer. I don't like how things are flowing with the PLE calendar. I don't. I'm not going to ever get used to it. I don't think we need 6-7 weeks in between shows. 5 weeks maximum. WWE's got every 3 weeks. And then, like I said, their energy is spent booking a little bit for this one and booking a little bit for that one and booking a little bit for this one. And then their arms and their mental capacity is pulled in 3 different fucking directions instead of focusing on one. Now they get to focus on one, which is 2 nights, and they're loading everything up, man. It's like they're throwing like they got nothing else to do, man. They don't know what else to do. They're throwing fastballs, and they're hoping that one of them gets by the fucking hitter before he knocks it out of the park. They're relying on that good old fucking gas right down the middle. 100 miles an hour. I don't like that. Switch it up. Curveball, knuckleball, change up. Nice fucking slider. Confusing the fuck out of the batter, man. I don't like that WWE's mental capacity is being stretched in all these different places. But this is what this segment is the product of all that. I needed more. We should have gotten more. This is a big match. It's not going to have any bearing on what the match is going to be. The match is going to be fucking great. I mean, Gunther does not, again, if you dislike Punk and you think Punk is old and he can't hang, Gunther doesn't have bad matches, bro. And Punk hasn't had a bad match since he's gotten back. So spare me. Match is going to be great. It's going to be one of the best matches that WWE puts on all year. But for Punk, whose number one strength is his promo against someone who's also very good and very snarky, I'd love to see him go at it with Punk. There's got to be some tension there between both of these guys. They've uncovered none of that. And next week is the last Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam. Oh, but they'll save that for next week, everybody says. Why didn't they give us more tonight? Was it illegal for them to do it? Did they not want to do it because they can't do it? No, they didn't do it because they didn't want to do it. Whatever the fucking reason is. Should have been more. Absolutely should have been more. Byron Saxton. He tried interviewing Stephanie Vaquer. Lucky guy. They were interrupted by Naomi. Naomi and Stephanie had never met before. Naomi introduced herself as the world champion, which she is. She cashed in at Evolution. Stephanie said she knew who she was. Naomi said that they would see each other at Clash in Paris at the end of August. Stephanie said that would only happen if she survived SummerSlam. Naomi was offended by that comment and was confident that she would see her in Paris. She did her evil laugh. She left, and she left Stephanie very angry that Naomi kind of threw it back in her face and was healing it up in front of Stephanie. Little tease. I do think that's going to end up being the match. I don't think Naomi's going to lose the championship at SummerSlam. I think that would be a mistake. Unless something, the only reason Naomi loses the championship is because WWE was given notice that Naomi's going to take some time off. Now, I read, I don't know how factual this is, Rikishi on his podcast has stated that he's been trying to convince Naomi and Jimmy Uso to settle down and have a family. Meaning Naomi step away from wrestling and have a child with Jimmy. I don't know how likely that is now. I don't know if that's going to be the situation now because that was in the news today. But if that's not the case, Naomi should not be losing the championship at SummerSlam against Io and Rhea. If she does lose the championship, it could certainly be in Paris to Stephanie Vaquer. And even then, it might be too soon. Why? Because Naomi is doing the best work of her career. She is killing this gimmick. And like I said several weeks ago, I said it after Evolution. I said it on that Raw after Evolution. I was the only one who called attention to it in this podcast thing. Monday Night Raw needed a top heel. I was pushing for Asuka to turn heel. That did not happen. WWE went a completely different way. They gave Naomi the briefcase to cash in not on Tiffany, but on Rhea and Io and become the women's World Heavyweight Champion, moving from SmackDown to Raw. Now they got the best heel on the fucking roster in the women's division. Naomi's doing better work as a heel than Becky, character-wise. They needed another top heel for the other baby faces to feud with Rhea, Io, Stephanie. Naomi is such a good heel and getting great heat. And she's very admirable in the ring. They got a winner over there on Monday night, and that was a great move to make. So yeah, WWE should be teasing this because I do think that this is going to end up being the match in Paris. First match of the night here, Sheamus. He went one-on-one with Rusev. This was just as good as their first match. I wouldn't say it was better. Maybe just by a smidgen, it was better. Crowd was a little bit better here than I thought they were last time they wrestled. This is their second match in a few weeks. Houston did not really get into it until we got towards maybe the last 5 minutes or so. This went almost 15 minutes. And this is the first thing that I said when Rusev and Sheamus were on the brand together and we knew Rusev was on Monday night. I said it. You guys know what I said. I'll save it for after the match. You know, if you listen to me, you know exactly what my mentality was for both of these guys. How I would use them creatively, you know. This was very good. A couple of minutes in, Sheamus, he went to the top for a dive off the top rope. He lost his balance. He jumped down. He went back up. And he jumped from the inside to the outside, which was fucking crazy because old man Sheamus jumping off the top rope to the outside off the top rope, that's something that I don't really want to see. Not that I think he's beaten and broken down, but Sheamus isn't as nimble as some others. I don't think he should be jumping off the top rope to the outside on Rusev, but he did anyway. Hits a flying clothesline to the outside. Rusev quickly grabbed him after that flying clothesline and hit a fallaway slam over the announce table, and we go into a commercial break. Sheamus is right back into it as soon as we get back from the break. He went for the bro kick. Rusev caught him in the running animation of the bro kick and powerbombed him down for a 2. Rusev went for a big machka kick. Sheamus nailed him with a great-looking knee strike and a cover. He only got a 2 count. Sheamus then went up top. He came off the top again, and Rusev hit him with a thrust kick, and he went for a cover, and he got a 2 count. Rusev now with Sheamus down. He goes quickly to apply the accolade. Sheamus got to the rope to break the accolade. Rusev booted Sheamus, and Sheamus is once again asking for a little bit more. He did the same thing in their first match, which is very Sheamus-like. He loves the beating. He does. He's a badass. Rusev then ripped the padding off the metal turnbuckle rod again, just like their first match. Sheamus bounced Rusev off of the metal rod instead, and that gave him an opening. The referee went over there to fix the padding. I don't know why that was all of a sudden a fucking priority in this match to go fix the fucking padding on the turnbuckle rod while these two guys are beating the shit out of each other in a competitive match. Yes, let me go fix the turnbuckle pad. Who cares? Rusev grabbed Sheamus' shillelagh. He tried to cheat with the referee's back turned. Before he was able to use it, Sheamus nailed him with a devastating bro kick. And they showed replays of this a few times. And my God, man, right to the jaw. Right on the side of the face. 1, 2, 3, and Sheamus gets his victory. They are now 1-1 in this battle of beasts on Monday night. Now, Rusev, he cheated in their first match. Sheamus did not cheat in this match. Rusev tried to cheat again. Now, I don't know if Rusev is going to be heel and cry that he cheated at Sheamus, and maybe we get a match 3, but if we do get a match 3, that's as far as I go. I see some people on social media saying they should do a best of 7. They should do a best of 5. No. Now, based off the crowd reactions that we got in the first 2 matches, I don't want to see a 5th match or a 7th match between these two. I think that's completely overdoing it. 1 more match would be enough. They are now tied 1-1. Why would I only do 3 matches? Because that's more than enough to get across what you need. They basically are even at what they are able to do to each other. Rusev is not able to beat Sheamus. Sheamus is not able to beat Rusev. So in the end, they come to a mutual respect. And at the end of all this, they become a tag team. And you make Sheamus and Rusev a tag team. A tag team in a division that desperately needs tag teams. A tag team in a division where this tag team would instantly be the number 1 tag team in the division. You add them to the Judgment Day. You add them to the New Day. You add these guys to those teams. The Creeds. The Viking Raiders. You got some sweet division right there. Could they use more teams? Absolutely. But the Monday Night Raw Tag Team division compared to the SmackDown Tag Team division is fucking awful. Let's be honest. You go 3 matches. Nobody comes out on top. Or if you want to choose a winner, it ends in a way where they both end up mutually respecting each other. You make them into a tag team. Rusev is not working out as a heel. He's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the crowd is looking for. It's not working. His music is fucking terrible. I'll tell you that right now. His entrance and his music is terrible. You don't know what the fuck is going on, and all I hear is dead silence when his music hits. You talk about AI-generated slop. That's Rusev. Can I have a theme that is significant to a Bulgarian professional wrestler? And out shoots that slop. Whatever it is. It's not over. The music has a lot to do with that. It's not connecting. These foreign heels don't connect. Gunther's lucky. He connects in the right way. Rusev is not connecting. You know how he's going to connect? When you turn him into a babyface and pair him with Sheamus. That's going to connect. Because everybody loves Sheamus. And when Rusev is with Sheamus, everyone's going to love Rusev because he's with Sheamus. They need to be a tag team. Sheamus has got a few more years left. I know a lot of people are probably going to be saying, well, what if he joins Rusev? What happens to his quest for the Intercontinental Championship? Who gives a fuck? It's the last thing he's got to do on his bucket list. All the time in the world to do something like that and tell that story. Could be the one thing that he waits for in his retirement run. Why do we have to do it now? If he could be used to help Rusev and get Rusev to where he needs to be because he's not hitting it yet. Why would anybody look at that and turn away from that idea? Because that's exactly what needs to be done. That's where I think it should go. So we'll see what happens. Sheamus beat Rusev in 15 minutes. Very good stuff. And the crowd, I just wish they were a little bit more lively for what these two guys did. Byron Saxton. He interviewed El Grande Americano. I didn't know Ludwig Kaiser spoke Spanish. Now, I don't know if it's good or bad Spanish, but I heard non-English words come out of El Grande Americano. Kaiser was speaking Spanish before he was rudely interrupted by Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee called him fake. He called him someone who's disrespecting Lucha Libre. All of a sudden, Kaiser pie-faced him, pushed him away. They brawled, and officials quickly broke it up. That would not be the last we saw of El Grande Americano. WWE is really ramping up the hype for this WWE Unreal. They aired a sneak peek of Unreal. It was a backstage clip of the Royal Rumble, where Tozawa was taken out of the Royal Rumble and needed to be replaced in the Royal Rumble. They showed a clip of I Show Speed being told by Triple H, Speed, you're in the Rumble. That was before he was cut in half, where he was Mortal Kombat fatality'd by Braun Breaker inside the Royal Rumble. Footage provided really nothing but Triple H telling Speed to go out there. He's now in the Rumble, and they cut it right as Speed made his way through the curtain. So that's their tease. That's their hype for WWE Unreal. We'll talk about Unreal and how Seth Rollins could potentially be factored into Unreal tomorrow on TNT. You guys don't think that with Unreal and the hype machine around Unreal and the promotional material around Unreal, you don't think that WWE is potentially thinking, man, maybe we should absolutely work the fans with their injury on Seth Rollins? You don't think that they're filming Unreal Seth Rollins with the injury and how all this creative is taking place? Sounds like a good episode if you ask me. We'll see what happens there. Just a thought. Just a thought. Sounds unreal to me, says Sidro. Yes, it does. Lyra Valkyria, she confronted Bayley. Supposedly, Bayley went to Adam Pearce and asked for a tag team title match tonight. Bayley and Lyra versus Roxanne and Raquel. Lyra was confused. But Bayley said they were finally getting the match that they were supposed to get at WrestleMania. Lyra said she beat Bayley's ass last week and was focused on SummerSlam. Lyra wondered what game she was playing. Bayley acted like everything was cool and said, I would see you in the ring. Yes, we got Lyra and role model. Yes. Unfortunately, we had to hear role model on Raw again. Bayley is clearly looking to take Lyra off of her game. Bayley is not really acting the heel, but away from the camera, through her actions and decisions, she's definitely acting like a heel. Now, I don't know if this is going to be Bayley turning heel. We already have Becky as a heel. But maybe Becky goes away for a little bit after she drops the title to Lyra at SummerSlam, and Bayley is the new heel on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. Can't turn everybody heel, but the babyface side on Monday Night Raw is much deeper than the heel side. So if we have Naomi, Becky, and Bayley as a heel on Monday night, I mean, that's a solid trifecta of heels there. That was coming up a little bit later on the show. We go right to a men's tag team match. Triple threat tag team number one contenders match. This was the New Day versus Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro of the LWO and the Creeds. The Creed brothers with Ivy Nile. Again, I wish I cared a little bit more about the SmackDown and Raw tag team divisions. I don't. I care about certain performers, certain talents, certain teams. But as a division, as a whole, I don't. It's very difficult for me to actually care. There's no real substantial story. There's no real match that I'm dying to see come out of this tag team division. This is why I think it's such a great idea to pair Sheamus and Rusev together on Monday night. It would instantly ignite some sort of competition in the division. We'll give the division a serious shot in the arm. New Day is boring. Been there, done that with the New Day. I did not really think the New Day were going to win this match. If they did, I mean, I didn't really want to see that again with the Judgment Day. The Creeds, we've seen that as well. If I had to choose just based off personal preference, I probably would have went the Creeds. We didn't get the Creeds, and we didn't get the New Day winning this. The LWO won this match. Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro won this match and are now the number one contenders for the Tag Team Championships. This went about 9 minutes. Again, not really a lot of time with these teams, especially with a commercial break, to really get completely involved here. But Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods set up Joaquin Wilde for their finish, the Midnight Hour. Wilde chucked Woods out of the ring, caught Kingston in his schoolboy for the 1, 2, 3. Now, Grande Americano and Dragon Lee brawled in the back earlier. Like I said before, that wasn't the last time we'd see them. Dragon Lee tried to help his boys out there, and Grande Americano attacked Dragon Lee. So he got involved, The Creeds got in Kaiser's face until Del Toro wiped everybody out with a corkscrew plancha. And then, like I said, the LWO went on to win after a schoolboy on Kofi Kingston. The crowd popped for the LWO. I don't know if I should be surprised or not. LWO is over in Houston? I guess so. But you go back to Worlds Collide. LWO got a nice reaction going back to Worlds Collide. In those Hispanic markets, WWE's looking for some top-tier Hispanic names and Hispanic talents, and these guys fit the bill. They do. They're a solid undercard act. I don't know why they haven't been pushed. They are very good at what they do, and WWE doesn't let you know how good they are because they never make fucking television. This is what the tag team division needs. Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, they need some sort of character. They need some sort of television time to really connect with the audience. You don't know who they are. They're just in the LWO because they're two Hispanic dudes with Dragon Lee. That's it. And what is the LWO without Rey Mysterio? Does anybody care about the LWO without Rey Mysterio? I know I don't. I don't care about them, period. But with Rey Mysterio, the casual audience, these audiences will care more about them. And WWE has not done anything in Rey Mysterio's absence to help alleviate that absence. That's the problem. How could you expect these guys to get over if you don't feature them on TV and basically use them as nothing more than Rey Mysterio fucking lackeys? That's not fair. And then when everybody says the tag team division sucks, there you go. There are no teams in the division. Sure, they could use more teams, but yes, there are teams. There are teams that Triple H is not using. If he put some effort into using them, we wouldn't be so depleted in the Monday Night Raw tag team ranks. So the problem is there. Get them on TV. Let the fans see what they can do. Put a microphone in their hand or give them a backstage segment and let them connect with the fucking audience who wants to connect with them. Otherwise, you're going to get these nothing matches that don't make you feel anything on Monday night, and it's just a random triple threat match because they got no other fucking teams. The LWO won this match because it's the one fucking match that WWE hasn't done with the Judgment Day. They've done the War Raiders. They've done the New Day. They've done the Creeds. There's nobody else. There's no one else. I tell you who else there is. Sheamus and Rusev. That's what needs to be. LWO wins. When this match is going to happen, I don't know. They said a future tag team title match. I don't know when that will be. It certainly won't be at SummerSlam. I'll tell you that right now. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are another team. Where the fuck are they? Do you guys know how good Tyler Bate is? If you don't look at anything but the main roster, you might not even know who Tyler Bate is. I watched NXT UK religiously when he was at the top of his popularity over there. He was being pushed as the top guy. Pete Dunne, so good. Same thing over there. They did him no favors by calling him up and renaming him and rebranding him Butch. WWE just simply dropped the... Where the fuck is Tyler Bate and where is Pete Dunne? Supposedly Pete Dunne could be mistaken, but I read somewhere that Pete Dunne and wife had a child. So maybe WWE granted him time off. But where's Tyler Bate? Where's Tyler Bate? I don't know why Tyler Bate's not on TV. That's absolutely criminal. Yet everybody wants to know why this one's out, that one's out, this team is not over, they're not over. WWE doesn't manage their talent properly. Start something, dropped, and then they disappear. It's like I'm watching Tony Khan on Wednesday night. Yes, Pete Dunne is done. Mustache Mountain was a great fucking tag team. I don't know what Trent Seven is doing. I'd bring him back. That's a great fucking tag team. Not like anybody on the main roster would know, but That's an acquired taste, bro. That's an acquired taste. It's like going from Budweiser and Coors Light shit to like a real, genuinely handcrafted craft beer. Nothing that's mass-produced and manufactured. It's an acquired taste. Might not be your cup of tea. The Englishman might not be your cup of tea. They're a great fucking tag team. Mustache Mountain had one of the best tag team matches in WWE history over in the United Kingdom against the, what's their names? Fucking, grizzled young veterans. What a waste that they were, huh? What happened to them? Where are they, Tony? You fucking geek. Imagine having the grizzled young veterans on your tag team division, in your tag team division, on your roster, and doing nothing with them. It really grinds my gears that we got so many talents that just are sitting around doing nothing. And then when we complain, oh, JD hates pro wrestling, man. Really? I don't think you hate the people who work for these companies. I don't think you hate the people in charge enough. All of your vitriol and fucking hatred comes at me for whatever reason. Like, I run the fucking company. I'm only calling out what I see. Yet I'm the one that gets most of the fucking heat. Why? Why is that? Because you don't want to hear what someone has to say? You don't want to know the truth. You'd rather be fucking holed up in your little fucking hole somewhere with your fucking anime thinking everything is all right. It's not. There's a lot wrong. And I will gladly call all that out for you. They showed a replay of the Kabuki Warriors losing last week. Io Sky told them that they would be tag team champions soon. Sure thing. Sure, Kyrie. Kyrie said Sky would soon be the world champion again, and Asuka wished her luck at SummerSlam. Stephanie Vaquer walks in. She can walk in anywhere she wants, bro. She walked in. She confronted Io. Io recalled that she had Vaquer beat last time that they wrestled until it was interrupted. She challenged Sky challenged her to a match tonight, and Stephanie said, "You're on." Crowd popped. Because they love Stephanie and Io in Houston. Vic Joseph. You know Vic Joseph from NXT. Oh! It's Vic Joseph doing commentary on NXT. Like he's busting a load. Vic Joseph interviewed Trick Williams, who should not be the TNA champion. Yes, Vic Joseph interviewed Trick Williams. This was done to plug The Undertaker's appearance on NXT tomorrow. I guess they need the ratings on Tuesday night, huh? They plugged The Undertaker's appearance on NXT tomorrow. Williams says he didn't have a problem with The Undertaker, but they could talk if he wanted. Taker acted like his knees didn't have an expiration date, and Williams said he needed to knock him out and knock his eyes to the back of his head again. Okay. All right, we got Trick Williams going at The Undertaker, man. Is Trick Williams looking at a chokeslam in his future? I guess so. In one of the more entertaining things on the entire show, I failed to mention earlier in the show, AJ Styles greeted Dominic Mysterio as he got out of his rental. He was a valet. He was dressed as a valet, AJ Styles. He showed up at TNA Slamversary last night in New York City, flew to Houston to be a valet to help Dominic Mysterio out of his rental car. Fast forward to this part in the show, after Trick Williams' promo, Adam Pearce tracks down Dominic Mysterio and tells Dominic he needs to go get checked out by medical. Because he's been hounding Dominic Mysterio. Listen, you got this doctor's note. Something don't seem right here. This was the last week. You're going to get checked out by medical, and this match with AJ at SummerSlam is going to happen for the IC title. So Adam Pearce tells Dominic to go get checked out by medical. Dominic keeps making excuses. Adam Pearce told him to go get it done. So Dominic then bumps into AJ Styles, who's now acting like a custodian. He's mopping the fucking floors backstage. Dominic ran off. New Day walk in while Styles is mopping the floor. And Styles said, whoa. I'm mopping the floor. Don't walk here. I don't want you to slip. And he goes off and mops away like he's Mr. fucking clean. So the New Day at this point are just baffled about what they're seeing. They don't know what the fuck's going on in this place anymore. Baffled that Styles is working as a custodian. They complained about recent events on Raw, ruining the tag team division, losing the titles. Something needs to go back to normal. Things need to go back to normal. Grayson Waller all of a sudden walks on in, and he informs the New Day that Austin Theory is now injured, and he was finally off of his back, a 240-pound albatross, finally off of his back, because A-Town Clown Under is no more. Waller offered the New Day his services. New Day were confused by this. They didn't really say no, but Waller said, go get a shower, I'll go get the car, and we'll get the hell out of here. Is that the way that Triple H broke up Austin Theory and Grayson Waller? They didn't even get a TV segment. For months, they've been teasing a breakup. And now the decision comes to break them up. Did we just see the breakup of A-Town Down Under? Austin Theory is injured. Not like anybody would notice. They're never on fucking TV. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Becky Lynch, she comes on out. She's not dressed as Becky Hogan, but she does have red, and she's got a yellow armband on her to signify the red and yellow. She's still kind of playing up the Becky Hogan stuff. But Becky comes out, got the title wrapped around her shoulders. She's got a microphone in her hand. She wanted the fans to show her some appreciation. She shouldn't even be here. She should be on the red carpet plugging her new movie, Happy Gilmore 2. I can't wait for this on Friday. Definitely going to make some time to watch that this coming weekend, for sure. I was thinking, man, the first one is such a fucking legendary movie, man. It's such, every time it's on, it's just one of those things, man, where you just get that feel of when things were right, you know? Happy Gilmore. Such a cult classic. So Happy Gilmore 2, Becky's in it, so is MJF. Instead, she was in Houston. MJF was on the red carpet, though. She did things she didn't want to because that's what leaders do. She put over her victory at Evolution, which was a great victory, great match, great pinfall by Becky. People accused her of keeping people down, but Lyra was the one who was stealing everyone else's opportunities. Lyra was already getting an IC title shot, and now she's getting a tag team title shot. She wondered, who would even need 2 belts? Man, oh man. The irony, Becky, the irony. Becky had a little iron this morning for breakfast. She said it was different when she was Becky 2 belts because Lyra was just being selfish. Lyra comes on out. Becky called her out there. Lynch said she made Lyra a star, but that free ride ended at SummerSlam. Becky said that if Lyra lost at SummerSlam, she could never challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again as long as she's had it. Lyra said she learned that whatever she thought she had to deal with, it came back to haunt her. Maybe she didn't take things far enough. She accepted Becky Lynch's terms. So if Lyra doesn't win the title, she can't challenge for the IC title as long as Becky's the champion. But Lyra said she's got conditions of her own. No countouts, no disqualifications. Becky gladly accepted. Lynch said this was the most important match involving this title because it would dictate the future of the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky wanted to be the bigger person and told Lyra to shake her hand. Lyra went to shake her hand and Lynch went for a cheap shot, but Lyra saw it coming and laid Becky out with her own manhandle slam. And we go right into the women's tag team title match with Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, role model, against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. I thought this was good. I like the stipulation. I like that WWE is adding stakes to these matches. Got a steel cage match with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. We got the street fight with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Now we got what basically is a street fight here under a different name. It's basically a street fight. No DQ, no count out. We got 3 matches with stipulations at SummerSlam. I like that WWE is adding a sense of urgency to these stories and to these feuds and to these matches. It's good. And I do think Lyra's going to win the title back. And I do think that Becky is doing a lot for this match, for this title. Excuse me. For Lyra. I think that's great. And I think out of all the matches that we've seen, because the last 2 have been fucking great. And then the triple threat match at Evolution. This 4th match between them one-on-one is going to maybe be the best that they've done. Very much looking forward to this match. The story's there. The story is there. Becky's promo work has been very good. Lyra's promo work is not as good as Becky's, but Lyra and what she's done in the ring more than speaks for itself. It's more than enough. The promo work could be a little weak, but when Lyra gets in there, man, she is becoming one of the more solid hands in that ring. And when she gets in there with Becky, I don't think anybody's going to be talking about her promo ability. It's going to be a very good match. I do think that Lyra's finally going to get over that hump, and Becky's going to be the one to finally get her in the eyes of the fans as being the next. Like, this is the next woman. Maybe not for a world title immediately, but when Becky is gone and cannot do this anymore, you want another Irish last kicker? There you go. Lyra Valkyria is certainly being set up for a bright future in WWE, and thanks to Becky Lynch. So we go from this promo. We go from Lyra and Becky to Lyra and Bayley versus Raquel and Roxanne for the tag team championships. This was very good. This one match told multiple different stories, and I very much enjoyed this. Got to give it to Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. I said on social media that ever since Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez became the tag team in the Judgment Day, in absence of Liv Morgan, I genuinely feel that they have produced better matches with Roxanne and Raquel than they did with Raquel and Liv. And this is why I said weeks ago, everybody was complaining that Liv is going to be out. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. People were worried. People were fucking having a mental breakdown on social media. I said it, and I'm going to say it again. This worked out for the very best for everybody. This is going on its way to being a blessing in disguise for everybody. I don't know why you are not open to seeing that. People want what they want when they want it, and they don't want anything to happen to their favorites, and they're worried about Liv being left off all these shows, left off Evolution, left off SummerSlam. What's going to happen when she comes back? What are you worried about? What are you fucking worried about? I don't get it. Liv and Raquel was okay. Liv is better on her own, honestly. Liv and Raquel was all right. Liv on her own is where you want to be. Raquel, when she was with Liv, is not as good as Raquel now. Raquel has come into her own the last couple of months. She's doing very good work. Finally. Roxanne Perez is a relatively unknown pro wrestler on the WWE roster. Sure, she was great in NXT. Who's watching NXT? How many of this audience watches NXT? How many of this audience cares about NXT? They don't watch. They don't know who Roxanne Perez is. They know who Roxanne Perez is now because she's in the Judgment Day. It was a slow burn. Now she's in the Judgment Day. People know who she is. People know how good she is. People know what she's capable of. Just by association with this group, she's now over. Raquel and Roxanne have been working out better than Raquel and Liv. Roxanne needed that Judgment Day rub. Liv Morgan did not. When Liv Morgan comes back, Liv Morgan is going to be more over than she ever has been over in her entire career, and she will be a baby face when she gets back. So what is the problem? Everything is working out for everybody for the better. The only negative is that Liv needs to be off TV for 4 months, which is fine. They can continue telling the story of Liv being hurt and the Judgment Day rubbing it in. You don't think she's watching the shows? You don't think she's hearing what's going on? Maybe there's another internal story with Dominic telling her everything that's going on, everything that Finn has been saying. You don't think she's looking at Raquel betray her by teaming with Roxanne? What happens when Liv gets back? Is she going to be the tag team or are they going to boot her out? Maybe Judgment Day when Liv gets back doesn't need Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day's better off. Raquel's better off. Roxanne's better off. Liv is better off. So again, I ask, what is the problem? Everything is working out the way that it needs to be. I don't give a fuck who in the chat watches NXT. I don't. It sucks. If you watch NXT, then you're an addict. Me, not so much. This is not black and gold. You're not getting me to watch NXT on a Tuesday night. I got better things to do. I catch up on NXT through highlights on YouTube. The show is not for me. Several aspects of the show are not for me. You go from Mauro Ranallo and Nigel McGuinness to Vic Joseph and fucking Booker T and writing that was made for adults to writing that is basically for Gen Z fucking people who just watched 6 weeks ago. Instant turnoff. The writing is awful. That's why I don't watch. This match was very good. It did a lot in the way to forward certain angles and stories going on into SummerSlam. Lyra became distracted by Bayley, and Rodriguez took out Lyra over the top rope, distracted the referee so Roxanne could get some cheap shots in on Lyra. Bayley made a hot tag. Crowd booed Bayley. I wonder if this is the fans knowing what way the wind is blowing here with Bayley. Role model. Even though they weren't really getting along, Bayley and Lyra, they started working together eventually. Lyra hit Perez with a sit-out powerbomb. She didn't go for the cover, though. She tagged Bayley in. Bayley hits her flying elbow drop. She did go for the cover, but Rodriguez broke up the cover off of the flying elbow drop. Lyra then goes to the outside and starts getting in Dominic Mysterio's face. Rodriguez tried to boot Lyra. She ducked, and Rodriguez booted Dominic by mistake. Now, the big boot to Dominic, I don't know what had happened. It was very off. It missed its target significantly. Dominic had to sell it like it was the worst thing ever, but Raquel missed the boot. It was basically Raquel grazing Dominic Mysterio. Could have been done a lot better. Rodriguez called for medical to check on Dom. Who knows? It might have been a setup. This might have been the master plan all along. Dominic doesn't want to wrestle AJ, so they maybe conspired to take him out. The medic shows up, and the medic is AJ Styles. He starts giving him fucking, starts pushing down on his chest like he's getting ready to give him CPR. Gave him chest compressions. Dominic managed to get out of there after he saw AJ was the medic. I don't know, man. I'm enjoying this. AJ playing all these different characters and wearing all these different hats. I find it to be hilarious. I think he's just a naturally funny guy. Now, it's a little too much. I wouldn't go overboard with it, but for this, I don't mind it. This allowed Becky Lynch, who was manhandled slammed by Lyra. Becky Lynch snuck up behind Lyra, pulled her off the apron, and threw her into the ring steps. Revenge. Perez used that distraction to roll up Bayley. Bayley kicked out. Applied a cradle for a two. Rodriguez made a blind tag. Bayley didn't see it. Bayley hit Perez with a Bayley to belly. But with Roxanne down, Rodriguez planted Bayley with the Tejana bomb for the 1, 2, 3. So, this match pushed the narrative of Bayley and Lyra not liking each other. This match pushed the narrative of AJ and Dom, AJ chasing Dom to see if he really is medically cleared. This match pushed the narrative of Lyra and Becky for SummerSlam. This match did 3 different things in one match. I thought this was great. I thought this was really good stuff. 15 minutes. Judgment Day retains the tag team titles. Multiple stories pushed. Becky gets Lyra. Lyra has a problem with Bayley. Bayley has a problem with Lyra. And AJ gets Dominic Mysterio. I thought this was very, very, very good. Roxanne gets Alexa Bliss, by the way, on Friday for momentum going into their tag team title match against Alexa and Charlotte. They will defend against Alexa and Charlotte at SummerSlam. Jackie Redmond interviewed Sami Zayn, who she thought was out indefinitely. He was on the show. Zayn admitted he wasn't 100% and should probably take more time off, but he was sick of Karrion Kross. Kross was the reason he wasn't on Raw last week. And if he was on the show, he would have won the gauntlet match. Zayn says his priorities are not straight thanks to Karrion Kross. He didn't want to wait any longer. He wants to end this with Kross tonight. Finn Bálor and JD McDonagh met with Dominic. Adam Pearce, once again, tracked Dominic down, told Dominic to go to medical now. Otherwise, he's stripping him of the Intercontinental title. Dominic was upset. He left. Bálor had this concerned look on his face. And then he yelled for Dominic while he goes into the doctor's office to bring the Judgment Day back lollipops. Sami Zayn. He went one-on-one with Karrion Kross. This was not good. This was not good. Their match at Night of Champions was a lot better. This was not good. I don't know what it was. It just felt off to me. It felt very funky to me. I don't know what it was, man. There just wasn't any heat to this tonight. We didn't get no Kross entrance. We got a little bit of a Sami entrance. Then we got a commercial. We come back from the commercial. Kross is already in the ring. Bell rings, and we got no Kross entrance. His entire gimmick is his entrance, and we didn't get it on TV. I don't know, man. I don't know how you guys felt about this. I did not care about this. In fact, I just want it to be over. Honestly. I thought that this may be a SummerSlam match, potentially. They did it here. I don't want to see it again. This legitimately did nothing for me. Sami Zayn wrestled in this match with his ribs taped. Kross stopped Sami Zayn's momentum. Got some punches in. Some fans were cheering for Kross. It wasn't as loud as previous cities and in previous weeks. Zayn hit the Arabian press. Scarlett kicked Zayn in his injured ribs. Referee was checking on Kross while this was going on. We go into a commercial. Zayn makes his comeback after the break. Zayn gave Kross an exploder in the corner. He was really, really close to the ropes. I'm surprised he did it. The bump on Kross did not look as impactful. Usually when Sami does these exploders in the corner, it looks impactful. It did not look impactful because Kross had to basically, his huge body type had to make sure he landed the right way because it would have been bad if he didn't. So he was definitely too close to the ropes. His nose ended up bleeding, I'm assuming from this spot. Scarlett then hands Karrion Kross a lead pipe. Sami Zayn sets up for the Helluva kick. Scarlett grabbed his leg underneath the bottom rope. Referee argued with Scarlett. What are you doing? Get down. Instead of sending her to the back or calling for a disqualification, she distracted the referee. Kross hits Sami Zayn in the ribs, the injured ribs, with the pipe. And that was enough for the 1-2-3. After the match, Kross rubbed his bloody nose all over his face just for added effect. He then kissed Scarlett, where his bloody nose and blood got on Scarlett's face. She wound up licking his blood off of her face. That's the way the match ended. Just dull. Someone in the chat said Sami looks like a bum. Normally, I wouldn't use such words because I love Sami Zayn, but yes, this feud is making him look like a fucking bum. Yes. Yes. You are not that far off. I'm still keeping my prediction, man. Sami winning the Rumble in Saudi. Sami going to WrestleMania to take the title from Seth Rollins. That's the way. We certainly ain't looking at a world champion right now. I'll tell you that right now. This shit's got to end, man. Kross is yelling, just say it. I want you to say it. He wants Sami to say that he's right. That he's a bad guy. Do you guys care? Just a dull match. Crowd was quiet through it. Added no fucking excitement to it. It was over in 10 minutes. Their Night of Champions match was a lot better. And even that borderline was dull too. Adam Pearce and AJ Styles met the medic. The medic came out of his office who gave Dominic a test to see if he was cleared. He said he needed more time to finish his paperwork before he could clear Dominic. Pearce and Styles were eager for the results. All of a sudden, Dominic attacked Styles from behind and confidently said, "I'm cleared," and accepted the match for SummerSlam. He takes the doc's paperwork and he throws it on AJ Styles. I would take that title off of Dominic and put it on AJ Styles. That title has done Dominic no favors, and Dominic has certainly not done anything with that Intercontinental title. All the goodwill that we've done with that Intercontinental title has laid dormant on Dominic Mysterio. It's time for a change. Seriously. AJ's the right recipient. He's the type of guy that would fit into the criteria of workhorse champion. Let's do it. Io Sky. She went one-on-one with Stephanie Vaquer. This was your main event. Very good match. Another fuck finish, which was done by design. Not going to beat Stephanie because she's the number one contender for the world title coming out of SummerSlam. Not going to beat Io because Triple H loves Io. Everybody loves Io. Everybody loves Io. Very good match here. This was a non-advertised match that they made official during the show tonight. Great back and forth. Valkyria got the better of Io. Crowd was definitely into both ladies, especially when Stephanie went for the Devil's Kiss, which was thwarted early on. Io applied a crossface. Valkyria got to the rope. Stephanie then rolled to the outside, so Io hits a big acai moonsault. Missile dropkick, double foot stomp. Stephanie comes back with a German suplex. Sky hit one as well. So they are both definitely offense heavy here. Io went for a devastating sunset flip powerbomb to the outside, but Stephanie blocked it. Stephanie then instead hits a knee drop across Sky's chest while they're both on the apron. Valkyria followed with a Devil's Kiss on the apron, and Houston did the Booker T. Stephanie went for her SVB. I hate the move and I hate the name. Am I allowed to say that? Or will her fan base cancel me? She needs a new finish, and she needs a new name for said finish. The SVB, the Stephanie Valkyria backbreaker, doesn't work, bro. Doesn't work. Sounds like something that a second grade would write in her fucking notebook as she desires to become a pro wrestler. No, come on. We need something to go with the La Primera, Devil's Kiss, whatever vibe. The SVB, it don't even look like an impactful move, bro. It's definitely a setup move. It's not a finish. It's the weakest thing about Stephanie. Pains me to say that. So she went for the SVB. Io countered it into a SVB of her own, I guess. Double underhook backbreaker. She goes for a cover. She gets a 2 count. Crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." I think that may have been the first time that they chanted that all night. Usually these WWE crowds love everything. Everything is awesome to these fucking people. All of a sudden, Io went for a moonsault. Valkyria hits an avalanche reverse vertical suplex. This was off the middle rope, not the top rope. Looked great. The Secret Hervis. I can't stand the Secret Hervis. I love Alba Fire and Piper Niven. I think they're great. I can't stand the group. They come out. They ruin the match. Stephanie knocked Piper and Alba Fire off the apron. Chelsea Green comes in and causes a disqualification as she attacks Stephanie from behind. The heels are beating up Valkyria until Io wiped out Chelsea Green with a missile dropkick. Valkyria and Sky double dropkicked Piper Niven out of the ring. Sky and Valkyria stood tall until Naomi, trying to sell the match with Io at SummerSlam, took out Io from behind, knocking Valkyria out of the ring. Piper Niven and Alba Fire put the boots to Valkyria while Naomi attacked Io in the ring. Secret Hervis and Stephanie were on the outside. Naomi and Io were in the ring. All of a sudden, Rhea Ripley runs out. Monster fucking reaction. I can't wait to see all the haters of Rhea Ripley, man, chime in this week. Oh, she's in the main event again. She can't stay away, Rhea Hogan. Why do you think she's in the main event scene? Do you hear the fucking reactions that this woman gets when she comes out? Or are you deaf? Rhea Ripley runs out, monster react, the loudest that they've been all night. Might have been louder than Roman Reigns, to be quite honest with you. She laid out Piper. She laid out Alba Fire. She laid out Naomi. Io and Stephanie attacked Chelsea. Rhea then laid her out with a riptide. Stephanie, Io, and Rhea in the ring, all standing tall. Look at that division, bro. You mean to tell me that the Monday Night Raw women's division isn't the best division in all pro wrestling? I didn't even include Naomi in that. Naomi, Becky, Lyra, Bayley, Asuka, Kairi. I mean, the Monday Night Raw women's division is fucking absolutely, and I mean stacked. Capital letters, bro. S-T-A-C-K-E-D. Stacked. Yet I'll have some sicko from Jacksonville telling me that they got the best women's division in the world. False. False. I hope you sleep better at night knowing that you're a fucking liar. Ridiculous. Roxanne Perez. How could I forget Roxanne? Can't forget Roxanne, bro. Best women's division on the planet is this Raw women. It's like, it's unfair compared to SmackDown. 15 minutes, excellent. Not going to be the last that you see these two in the ring. They want you, they want you to think EO has a shot. They want you to think that EO and Stephanie in Paris is potential. It is. I just don't see Naomi losing the championship after she had such a great cash in at Evolution. I just don't see it happening. 3 weeks after Evolution, Naomi losing I just don't see it. I don't see it. Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman's out first with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This group has yet to be given a name. I don't know why. The Vanguard, the Empire, well, what's their name? The Visionaries? Sounds like a fucking, it sounds like some fucking softball league, baseball team, some softball team in the neighborhood, the Visionaries. Paul Heyman entered first. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed trailing behind. Bronson Reed was in possession of the briefcase. Heyman had a lot to say. He was interrupted. Roman Reigns quickly interrupts him. Huge reaction. Roman gives off that, like, he still gives off that, like, endgame final boss vibe. But, man, Roman's reactions are like he is, like elite. Like, Roman's at that, like, fucking Rock level, man, where it comes out, he's getting those reactions. This guy could take fucking 8 months off, come back and not miss a fucking beat, man. People will still cheer for him the way that they always have. Legitimately, when Roman is on TV, everything is better. I don't know how much more time he has. He's never going to be full-time again. Never. Roman is the next guy that we have to enjoy him while we have him. There are only a couple of matches still left for Roman Reigns. Obviously, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, a CM Punk one-on-one match. I'd even go and do another Cody match. Cody Roman 3. Roman Gunther. 5 matches. There's not many left on the table. He comes out, monster reaction. Heyman, stop talking. They're in the ring together for the first time since WrestleMania. Heyman told Reigns that Seth Rollins would be out of action for a very long time. Emphasis on very. False. I don't think that he will be out at all. I think he shows up in 11 days at SummerSlam. This apparently has now opened up a leadership opportunity. Again, I don't know why Paul Heyman would say this. I don't know why Paul Heyman would offer a leadership role to this group for Roman Reigns. If Rollins is legitimately out, why would you do that? If you need any more, like, this is a work, just look at that. Rollins is going to be out for a very long time, but a leadership role just opened up. You can join us. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Unless he's fucking everybody over. Let's fix this. They could get back together because Reigns knew they were better together than opposing each other. Heyman told Reigns, "I love you, my tribal chief." Fans in Houston chanting, "You sold out. You sold out." Roman Reigns, before he even says anything to Paul Heyman, H-Town. And then he did his whole acknowledge me spiel. They did. At this point, Braun Breaker is visibly angry. He's like pacing back and forth like a fucking Rottweiler, caged. This guy's, he can't stand him. Can't stand Roman. Heyman then raised his finger in the air, signifying the one. Reigns said Heyman wasn't a wise man anymore. You're just a dumbass. Breaker got pissed. Heyman had to hold him back. Bronson Reed also jumped in to hold Braun Breaker back. Settle down, Junior. Settle down, says Roman Reigns. Reigns advised Breaker to sit under the learning tree and listen because Heyman would do the same thing to you as he did to me. When Breaker was the man and on top in a few years, he did not stutter. I want to make sure you guys are aware of that. When you are the man, not if, when you are the man, Heyman's going to do the same thing to you as he did to me, and he's going to take all of the credit for your hard work. Reigns has heard a lot of people trying to take credit for creating the tribal chief. He could say firmly it wasn't because of Heyman. He was still the tribal chief because the fans acknowledge him as the tribal chief. Reigns was the greatest champion to step foot in this ring, and he admitted Heyman had a part in all of that. But Heyman did not help him keep the title. Jimmy and Jay did. Solo did. Even Sami Zayn helped him keep that title. Reigns finally lost the title after 4 years. He didn't tuck his tail and go home. He went home and raised the future Bloodline, his children. Bloodline was family. This dumbass, and he points to Heyman, thought that they were just another wrestling faction or a wrestling group. Tried to get really smart Mark with that comment, you know. The Bloodline was not just a wrestling faction or wrestling group, it was family. But you couldn't create the Bloodline. That is God's work. Breaker is pacing around again, holding him back. Oh, Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. Settle down, Junior. Settle down. Reigns said Heyman was always a friend and a business partner to the Bloodline, but Reigns was the one who accepted him into the Bloodline. Heyman threw that all away for what? His best friend? Someone who he didn't even talk to for 10 years in CM Punk. Reigns didn't ever want to hear anyone say he ruined the Bloodline. Paul Heyman ruined the Bloodline. Well, there really wasn't much of a Bloodline when Heyman decided to walk Punk down the aisle at WrestleMania. The Bloodline was dead. The Bloodline ended after he lost the title. It was over. WrestleMania 40, goodbye. It was over. Heyman ruined the Bloodline. Now, that's Roman Reigns kind of rewriting his own story. Roman Reigns ruined the Bloodline. Roman Reigns' selfishness, Roman Reigns' ego, Roman Reigns' desire to be all about him ruined the Bloodline. Not Paul Heyman. Braun Breaker then steps in front of Paul Heyman, puts out his hand, and Heyman gladly puts the microphone in Breaker's hand like he did to Roman Reigns for 4 years. Braun Breaker speaks to Roman Reigns face to face. He says, nobody wants you here anymore. You're yesterday's news. You were in your prime 5 years ago, and now you're taking up my time in the ring. Heyman wouldn't stab me in the back because in me, he has value. You're worthless. He's the top dog now. He is the man that is going to be the future of the company. He told Reigns to get out of his ring and leave. Reigns acted like, and this was great, he stood there listening to Braun Breaker, but then he tells Braun Breaker, I didn't hear a word you said. And then he offers him his microphone so he could repeat everything he just said to Roman Reigns with his microphone because apparently Braun Breaker's microphone wasn't working. As soon as he threw Braun Breaker his microphone, he went for a Superman punch and delivered a Superman punch right to Braun Breaker's face. He then attacked Bronson Reed. He turned around and was eventually speared by Braun Breaker. Breaker held down Reigns. Reed then set up for a tsunami. Out comes Yeet Man. He ran out to make the save. Jay speared Breaker. Reigns speared Bronson Reed. Jay helped Reigns up to his feet. Music played. They yeeted. And they stood tall as Monday Night Raw came to a close. The longest Monday Night Raw of the Netflix era at 2 hours and 45 minutes. There you go. I thought this was a great segment. I thought this did a lot. Clearly, you see what the match is. It's going to be Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at SummerSlam, as it should. A one-on-one match between Roman and Braun is coming. It's too big of a match not to do. I'm assuming we get that match when Seth Rollins gets back, which I do believe will be at SummerSlam. I thought this was a great segment. Reigns, he just adds a level of importance to the show that many others cannot duplicate. Every time he's on TV, it's just must see. It's exciting. It just gives you a feel that things are right when he's there. Can't be there all the time. And he's not going to be there as much as we want him to. But for now, going into SummerSlam, we got him and Braun Breaker on a collision course in this tag team match. It's the right match to do. I know Rikishi also said that in regards to Roman, he's God mode. God mode deserves a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. I don't really get where he's coming from if you guys listen to what he had to say. God mode deserves to be all by himself. Meanwhile, God mode is teaming with his son. So I don't really understand why he doesn't want his... Where else would his son fit in? If Roman is not teaming with Jey, then he would complain where Jey Uso is on their 2-night WrestleMania in the summer. So he either teams with Roman or gets nothing. Yet he's out there saying that Roman is God mode and he deserves a match all to himself. He should be by himself. I don't really understand what he says half the time, what he means. I don't get it. It's a ridiculous statement, but I thought Monday Night Raw, it did what it needed to do as far as progressing stories. I know one of the big criticisms is WWE's got too many shows and not enough time in between shows, especially for a 2-night SummerSlam, for things to feel substantial and full. If we had an extra couple of weeks here, extra few weeks to build to some of these matches, maybe the stories would be a little bit more involved. Maybe they'd be a little bit more emotional, a little bit more deep. They're not. But tonight's show did a lot of good. It did a lot more good than bad. Crowd was the worst part of the show. SummerSlam, the way it's shaping up, is looking like a banger show. So I got to give WWE some credit, man. I thought they were building towards a one-night SummerSlam. It didn't even feel like a 2-night SummerSlam. Now it feels like a 2-night SummerSlam. Thank you guys for all of your support. I really appreciate you joining me here on your Monday nights. We had 2,200 people in here on Monday night. I don't know where everybody is. Out enjoying the summer like I wish I was. Yet here I am talking about fucking Yeet Man. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go out there and check that homepage, man. Lots of content there. We got some extra on the Seth Rollins. We got some streams that you might have missed. Go check that out. If you guys want to help me out on the audio side of things, man, I would love if you go over there and leave me a 5-star rating. Leave me a comment. iTunes, Spotify, help the channel out. Help the audio podcast out. Helps me out tremendously, man. All that stuff really matters. It really matters when ranking the podcast. I'd love to get maybe into the top 20, man. So make sure you guys go and do that for me. Super chats are open. Get them on in, man. They're still open. We will hang out in just a second. Tonight's show sponsored by Blue Chew. You guys know that. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you need to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. get into these supers. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with the 7 months. Today is my 39th birthday. I'm happy to be part of the best IWC family. Best of the best, and the rest can eat corn the long way. OTS for life. Thank you, brother. Happy 39th birthday, man. Let me see some birthday cake emojis in the chat for my guy, Johnny Boy Vaccaro. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. Malcolm Jamal Warner, a.k.a. Theo from The Cosby Show, passed away due to an accidental drowning. Solid guy and good actor. R.I.P. Theo. I read about that this morning, man. I was never a big fan of The Cosby Show. Never a big fan of The Cosby Show. The only way I knew who Bill Cosby was because he did the pudding commercials. That was it. I had no interest in watching his show. Best in the world, Matt, with a 10 months in the venue. Thank you, brother. Here's the 10 months. Much love to all my OTS family in the venue tonight. Hope you all are happy and well. Always appreciate you every stream, JD. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you very, very, very much. Matt's always in here, man. Always in here is Matt. Boss Mo Jackson with a $1.99. Superfan Roddy Hogan has also passed. I don't know who that is. Roddy Hogan? Who's Roddy Hogan, bro? Thomas Malloy with 29 months. Cheers to 29 months, JD. Is it me or is Lyra acting a little bit more heel lately? Keep being you and keep up the great work, sir. Well, thank you, Thomas Malloy. All this work that Becky's doing to get Lyra over and we want Lyra to go heel? No, that's not going to happen. Am I doing a meet and greet at the American Dream Mall? I have yet to look at where I could do that. You know, I want to do a meet and greet, but I also want to relax and drink at the same time. I don't know when to do it. Did we do it Friday before SmackDown? I can't do it Saturday. I don't know if Saturday is a good idea because that means I got to travel back home. Traveling from that part of New Jersey back home to Queens / Bronx / Long Island? No. Might not happen, bro. I don't know. I don't know where in American Dream I would actually do the meet and greet. I need help. I never even been to the American Dream Mall. I don't even know what it looks like in there. Sidro with a $10 super chat. Sidro is already a mod. Top fans, we got Street Fighters. Number 1. Oh, boy. Street Fighter and Sidro are number 1 and 2. Sidro's already a mod, though. Sidro's already a mod. Street Fighter. If he can maintain that number 1 position, man, he'll have 1 on the scoreboard for becoming a mod. Sidro with a $10 super chat. The Black Eyed Peas can sing us a song, but the chickpeas can only hum us one. Oh my God. That may be one. The Solid Monster might like, bro, for tomorrow. I tried to make a carpentry pun that would work. Thought I nailed it, but somebody saw it. Yes, enjoyed Raw tonight. Also, Sidro with a $10 super chat. Went to the opening of a new cannibal-themed restaurant the other day. Boy, was it expensive. Cost me an arm and a leg. But I'll give them this. They really know how to serve people. Thank you, Sidro. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Punk felt like an afterthought as Raw wore on. But if we get him, Roman, and Seth on Raw, I feel, title or not, that Seth will feel inferior to the other two. Not if this thing is a work, which I think it is. ZR the Hedgehog with a $5 super chat. If Charlotte hates Chicago, does that mean she hates CM Punk? Good thing CM Punk doesn't have creative control then. No. No, I don't think she hates CM Punk. Sidro with a $2 super chat. How Bigfoot tells time? He looks at his Sasquatch. That may be a good one for tomorrow, too, bro. Have that one in the back pocket, bro. McNeil, 99 with a 1 month. He puts the ones up. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Triple M with a $10 super chat. Bro, I just reached level 200, bro. Desert Perpetual. The new raid in Destiny was brutal. I beat the Hydra and quit. Proceeded to clear full normal raid 3 times. So proud of what I accomplished this weekend. If you want to grind power this week, let me know. I'll be grinding. Brother, I'll be on. I'll be on, man. You need to teach me those raid mechanics, bro. We gotta get the icebreaker, and we gotta get the rocket launcher, man, for that new raid. I'm a big rocket launcher guy. Twister with a $1.99. AJ Styles is so funny when he's unserious. He is. He is. Man, listen, bro. I watched Asta Cross and Dado all weekend, bro. I tuned in several times throughout the day to see what their progress was. I fell asleep to Dado playing the fucking game last night, bro. They didn't finish. I don't think they finished until at least 7 a.m. Eastern time, bro. 3 hours after I actually woke up. They were done. Man, I watched Dado, man, on a couple of times. The game is fucked. The game is fucked. They seriously need to change something, man. Dado and his team had literally 1% of the boss health, and they fucking wiped on Final Stand. Awful, bro. I would have quit. I would have said, "Fuck this game. I'm done." I have no patience. How they did it, man, I have no fucking clue. No clue. Has to cross, bro. I mean, the guy, bro, the guy was done after 8 hours or 9 hours after the first encounter. I tuned into at least a dozen times, man, to see what he was doing, man. He was a literal zombie. By hour like 20, bro, he was gone. Gone. I don't know how they do it, man. I genuinely I couldn't be me. Brian, Mario Kart Monday, JD, please, pretty please. I'm not there yet, bro. I'm in my Destiny mode. Mario Kart Monday, we'll try next week. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. The 90s guy with a $5 super chat. Good day from Brisbane, Australia. Just wanted to say, everyone smash the thumbs up and fuck the haters. Sean Ross Sapp loves corn. LOL. Love your work. JD from NY206. Thank you, 90s guy. Brian also with a 199. Also, Malcolm died, drowned. They got rid of him. They got rid of him. For what? Hooligram, why did the Illuminati get rid of Malcolm Jamal Warner, bro? What happened there? Is he now on Fantasy Island somewhere with the rest of them that's taking a permanent vacation? Where is he? Jericho, 8131. Thank you, brother. $20 super chat here says, WWE needs to bring back time limits for matches. Draws would be great to end matches when they don't want either person to lose. That Io Stephanie match was too great to end on a formulaic, no contest interference. I'd love if WWE had time limits. It's too pro wrestling for them, so they won't do it. A cup of haters? We got a cup of haters over here. Jericho, thank you, brother. I agree. Street Fighter with a $20 super chat. Why are they cutting La Primera's entrance? I have no idea. I did notice that. What are you doing, WWE? Hooligram says Malcolm Jamal Warner's with Tupac right now. Yeah, he's also with Michael Jackson and Prince and all those guys over there, right? Ricky Breeze. $2 super chat. Roman Reigns. They tried to do the European chants. Roman Reigns. Nice jacket. You mean this thing? It's fucking freezing in here, bro. I got the central air on. Thank you, Ricky. Corey Williams with 35 months. TNA Wrestling Slamversary 2025 was a decent pay. It was all right. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Was it worth my 40? No, it was not. If Mike Santana won, yes, it would be. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. Santana can just win the TNA title if he goes to NXT. And Solo pretty much thought the same thing you did about TNA yesterday. I watched his review. Okay. So there won't be any arguments between the monster and me tomorrow on TNT, huh? Cornell Bryant with a $4.99. Release the Epstein files. And the Paige Del Rio video. Fuck Del Rio. And yeah, if they release the Epstein files, bro, most of Hollywood and most of your United States government are going to go to jail. So that will never happen. Chris Leon with a 37-month SummerSlam looking good. Yes, it is. Jay Everington with a 5. Most likely to main event WrestleMania by 2030. Trick Williams, Dominic Mysterio, or MJF? MJF. Absolutely. Yeah, and the Black Panther guy, too. Yeah, he's there, too, yeah. Captain Solo with a 5. Here late. Was wondering if you watched TNA Slammiversary. It was a banger show. Well worth the $40. I watched. I ordered. 6 out of 10. Would have been better if Santana won. Dumb move that they kept the title on Trick. All for a TV deal with a major network and that WWE presence. Now they go to Lowell, Massachusetts for Bound for Glory, where he potentially wins it there. That's fucking awful. Sidro with a $2 super chat. Ironically, Medical AJ ended up needing medical. Yeah, yes, he did. Street Fighter with a $5 super chat. AJ has more jobs than Johnny Sins. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That good old Johnny Sins, man. Living the life is that Johnny Sins. Joey Taylor with a $5 super chat. Johnny and Tommaso versus Tyler and Trent, Worlds Collide 2020. Go watch that match, JD. Very good match in 2020 before the pandemic. I don't know why I don't remember that one. Brian with a $1.99. Also, thank you for the Spotify playlist. You're welcome, bro. So many people ask me. It's there in the description. Go check it out. Hollywood guy with the $2 super chat. It's my birthday, too. I'm with the best of the best of the best. Bro, the best of the best better be a hot blonde and not this stream, bro. Please. But thank you anyway. Lavelle with a 5. Do you think TNA's plan to continue a slow burn for Santana to win the world title? Probably, but it was a waste. The biggest stage that they had was this, not Bound for Glory. After all, also after her big win on Sunday, are you now sold on JC Jane? No. No, I am not. I think JC Jane is very, very, very mid. I don't get it. Everybody sees something that I don't. I'm still wondering what the fuck that is. Scorpio Prince with a $5 super chat. At work in the office, I'm like, pass me the documents. At home, I'm like, pass me the blunt. No smoking in the venue, Prince. No smoking in the venue. Jay Taylor with a $1.99. Do you think Cody Cena do a double turn at SummerSlam? No. Cody is not turning heel. Sidro with the $2 super chat. New gimmick for Masha should be Masha Slam-a-Bitch. Bro, she does that anyway, bro. No need to change the name. She does that anyway. Jay Taylor with 17 months. What's up, JD? Glad to have joined the OTS family over a year ago. Been watching you since the early days of 19. You truly are the best of the best. Thank you, brother. Hooligan, I have not watched that match yet. Hurricane with a 5. The tribal chief is best for business, just like JD's best for business in the IWC. Is that Ricardo? Is that Ricardo Linnell? They changed Ricardo's fucking name? God, YouTube's got to go back to normal, man. Campo 34 with a $10 super chat. JD, recommend the new DLC. Been thinking about coming back. I have Burnout during Final Shape. Beat the Witness. Did the final huge fire team mission. Haven't played since. Yes. The leveling up system and the new way to go about things is great. I love it. And Scorpio Prince with a $5 super chat. I need the Epstein files. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't eat. Bro, you're not getting the Epstein files. I'll tell you what you are getting, though. Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow with the Solo Monster and myself. Tomorrow night, TNT 104. We got a lot to talk about, man. Rollins, work or shoot. TNA Slamversary. All your major news this week. It'll be great. Tomorrow night, man, 8:30. You guys know where to find us. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Go to iTunes, Spotify. Leave me a comment and a rating over there. And follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Why? Because, like the song says, we are the best of the best of the best. I'll see you guys later.